Basically, the tribes in it, he's right in it, need to be strong. Otherwise, the balance between them and the Ithram is going to change, which could potentially lead to war again. Hey, sounds nice, doesn't it? What is that? Two identical women seem to fade into view as they move away from the great trees that camouflage them. The skin is tree bark, rigid and scaly, wreathed in a curling tangle of roots, buds, and blooms. Their hair hangs beneath the shade of serrated leaves, like the drooping branches of the elms above. And the pupils of their eyes are encircled by hundreds or even thousands of concentric rings, as if to mark the accumulated wisdom of millennia.
Turn around, flesh creature. Outsiders are not permitted to approach the elms.
One of them extends a snarl of roots toward you that snakes and twists together to form something like an open hand, palm down. The other stares at you unblinking, and as her frown deepens, her face creaks. Do you not feel it, sister? Something familiar, an ancient soul, like the other one. Another defiler, no doubt. Let us feel her and be troubled no more. I fell, I guess. Fell her. That's not nice. It would pay the debt of her predecessor.
So it would seem, Rhiannon. But we must not hasten to judgment. I see a different motive here. Different questions in these eyes.
You sound like an arrogant prick. I don't like you already.
What of it, young trespasser? Is it as my sister says? Or are you here to stain this place with foul deeds?
I've forgotten my purpose in the presence of such legendary beauty. I will begin hallucinating in double. Yeah, well, when hallucinating one woman is not enough anymore, you just have to hallucinate more. Well, let's be honest here, because they do seem to be somewhat old and wise. Maybe we can profit from that. Ah, Sheikah Man who came through here. It sounds as though you have already met him. There, by her own admission, Sita.
Really, sister? And you wonder why your leaves begin to fall out before midsummer. Clearly that man did not want to be followed. Whatever the relationship here, I suspect it is anything but cordial.
Well, look, the arrogant one is actually smarter than her sister. Great. I don't like your voice. I don't like your tone. But at least you're not dumb, like a fucking brick. That is something. Renvin opens her mouth to respond, but all that escapes her knotted lips is an exploded, rusting sigh. Sita turns back to face you.
The answer is yes, old one. We crossed paths with Theos not long ago, and we can tell you where he went. But I find it curious that anyone would seek him out. Suspicious, even. If we are to help you find him, we would know why.
Well, I can have a problem, and he's probably the only one who can help fix that.
Ah, so you do. I should have seen it when you first approached.
Did his eyes scan over you for a moment? Do you have the strangest sense that she's looking beneath your skin?
We are slipping in our advanced age, sister.
I see it now. You are awakened.
Indeed.
Your soul is awake, and something once buried deep now wells to the surface. Past overwhelms present, closes in around you. Your time has nearly reached its end.
Yeah, so have people been telling me, but then again we have been traveling for months, so... hasn't really stopped us now, has it? I just need to get to
I'm
Theos.
sorry to tell you this, but Theos cannot give you what you seek. Nor can any man. An awakening cannot be undone, any more than your past can be undone.
Well, that's a problem. What do you mean? I thought Marvel said... this is permanent. We did not come down this road together to be refused passage by a pair of talking saplings. Well, Durans, I don't think they're saplings anymore, but I suppose I'm going to take it as a compliment. This is only for nothing, and I'm going to lose my
The
mind.
soul is formless without a past to shape it. Did you truly expect to be able to wipe it away?
Well, I kinda had to believe in something, you know?
You would rather believe in a comforting falsity than accept a hard truth.
Well, like everybody else,
A
yes.
common trait among your kind.
Indeed.
Endearing in some ways, but it is an obstruction. A lie within a lie. It
Yeah.
is only when you face that truth, abandon hope of salvation, and digest its uncompromising absoluteness, that a soul's true nature is laid bare.
Well, yeah, and that is going to lead people to fucking suicide, you dumb sapling. Quite literally. Because if I abandon all hope, and I think that tomorrow is going to be a even shittier day, and my days are numbered anyway, so fuck you basically. Why do anything then?
However, as much as my sister speaks truly that there is no way back from an awakening, there may yet be a way forward. Would you agree, Shiva?
Ho, 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 ho.
I would. Were the way not so likely to end in death.
Well, you underestimate me. Let's not get that arrogant. I think they don't really underestimate us. They're just fucking old. I've seen shit, probably. So, what way are we talking about?
Theos, you must already know by now. You are linked by a common past.
Yeah, we kinda went on a bit of an heretic
Something
hunt.
about it lingers within you, festering, unresolved. What it is, I cannot see any more than you. And without that knowledge, your doom is certain.
I mean, it's kind of interesting. At some point, Theos and me were really buddy-buddy, and we were all like, well, let's hunt some heretics. Burn them, put them on the wheel. And make sure that everybody confesses before we murder them outright. You know, true seeker and all of that.
But were you to learn the source of this discord, perhaps it could be put to rest. Though it is equally possible
I
it would
already know
trouble
the
you
source
as
of the
much now
Discord.
as it did then.
I've put the link somewhere, I'm
and
sure.
merely speed your condition to its end.
So, my past comes to me pieces. How do I unlock the rest? Is this gonna be a pay to DLC
You
deal?
might wait for it to come on its own, of
Sure.
course. But when it comes, it will replace your sanity's last breath. Such is the nature of your condition.
Aren't you just telling me that I'm gonna die?
Or you could learn it from someone who already knows.
Which would be Theos, yes, but would he?
It is
Yes,
said
of
the
course he would
gods
remember.
made his memory perfect, that he may never forget his charge. If he ever knew, he still does.
Yeah, probably does.
Not that he would tell you, of course.
Yeah, his whole fucking bloody organization, the Latin Key, is basically one giant fucking lid on every fucking bit of knowledge they... Not even the members know precisely what secrets they're keeping. As their job is just to keep the secrets. So yeah, Theos is basically the last person you should go up and ask, hey old man, I have some questions and you have the knowledge I require. Please skip. Because his reaction is going to be along a very predictable line of nothing in your face, followed by swift death. Ah, doesn't sound that promising.
You have followed the right person for the wrong reason, it
Oh,
seems.
sometimes you just have to get lucky, eh?
We see it often beneath the elms. The soul dragging mind and body to unknown places for unfathomable reasons. You may have wandered into Theos's path many times,
Maybe I
in
have.
many lifetimes, without an awakening to show you why.
Well, no matter how you turn it, at some point, he has pissed quite liberally in my coffee pot, and, well, if I had some opportunity past to piss back just a little bit, that's a good start. I kinda would like to do a bit more of that, in a bigger fashion.
The only thing that's certain is you did not find what you sought.
Well, you said you know where he went.
He has gone down beneath the tower to a place older than we, where the people of Engwith once walked. He makes his way to the buried city, Sun and Shadow.
Sun and Shadow, you say?
May he stay down there and rot with the remains of his people.
Yeah, not much of a chance
He
for
may
that.
yet. He won't be returning the way he came, that much is certain. He opened a secret path in the tower's base, and saw it destroyed behind him through some vile means.
Or is there another way to get to him
We
then?
know of one. On the burial isle, through the court of the penitents, Braeth Yaman. A shortcut, in fact.
Why do I kind of feel the need to point out that you're keeping something from me?
Don't be cruel, sister.
Yeah, don't be cruel to me, bitch.
The way my sister speaks of is not for the faint of heart. A great pit at the center of a forgotten court, where faiths were judged in place of crimes. To most, it is simply a gateway to death. With the help of the gods, it can take
We're
you
talking
where
about
you
a
want to
giant
go.
fucking pit. So what you're telling me is to jump into this endless pit. Now, realistically speaking, no pit is endless, so at some point there will be ground. I will be at a very high velocity in full armor. Falling. Yeah, I have to jump into a pit. Is this a
Oh,
trick?
sister, if only we'd thought to trick Theos into jumping.
No trick, I'm afraid. Though without the proper preparations, the fall will certainly
You
kill
don't
you.
say. I'm not a fucking bird. I don't fly well.
The pit is
The
said to
armor is
have
kind
been a
of
means
heavy,
of
you know?
judgment by the gods. Those cast into it are meant to die. It is that way you must pass to reach sun and shadow.
Why, yes. Okay, how about you give me a few 100 feet of rope and I just tie a rope and climb down?
The court is old. We do not know much for certain, but it would seem only the gods themselves can grant passage.
What is this
No
court?
more than a ruin now. It is older than we,
Hmm.
a place for the trial of heretics. We were not here to witness it, but at one time there was a group that refused to acknowledge the gods. Neither the first nor the last, of course, but these were numerous and all put on trial for it. Those who did not repent were cast into the pit
Well.
and imprisoned below.
So, those who repent were killed faster then, I'm assuming? Because that seems to be the general definition of mercy that we are working with.
The fall killed them, of course. The prison was not for people, but for their souls, and their sentences were eternal.
It's a bit cruel.
It is
I
said that
can
many of the
smell the gods in
condemned
there.
repented and were permitted by the gods to ascend from the pit, so long as they pledged their service to one of them. But these are old legends.
Smart move. Basically, you're like, okay, you have two options. A, we're gonna kill you. Your soul is going to stay trapped down here for fucking eternity. Or, you swear yourself to one of the gods. Gods get new followers, new soul material, everyone is happy above, you know, upstairs. And, well, who cares about these sinners anyway? How would I ever get the gods to help me?
Behind us is Ter Evron, said to pierce the shroud itself and a place of communion with all gods. If ever there was a time for prayer, you have found it.
Who would I pray to? Any god you can, I should think.
I would pray first to those gods you like best. I hope for your sake the feeling is shared.
Yeah, that's not very likely. The gods don't... I mean, no, that is wrong. The gods play favor all the bloody time. Just not with me, normally. Is there no other way?
Run.
How do I
Ter
pray?
Evron is also called the Hall of Stars, and the stars show us the allegiances of the gods. When stars are in conjunction, we know the gods they represent are aligned as well. You should choose a place to pray where you'll be closest to those you want to hear you. If a god stands alone, you should pray to that god. If they band together, you should address them all. Choose your words wisely, for all gods expect proper homage, and none has patience for fools.
Well, surprisingly often the gods are quite foolish themselves. What am I supposed to do about that? I have questions.
What do you wish to know?
How did you know I was pursuing
The
Zeus?
same way that you are no doubt able to peer into the ether and experience the souls of others. It is something we are born with, some more, some less. You share certain similarities with the man you pursue. For your sake, I pray they are few and of no consequence.
Yeah, totally. Did I mention the time when Theos and I kind of were all buddy-buddy and started burning heretics? Huh? Good. Just imagine that I never talked about that. You mentioned that people come to these realms without knowing why. Sound has a will of its own. Its needs and whims are seldom understood. They follow them all the same.
There is something about this place that reaches beyond our understanding.
Beyond
Something
their
like a
understanding.
beacon. The elms have a way of uniting souls that have been seeking one another, with or without their owner's awareness. Sometimes it is for love, sometimes for vengeance, sometimes for peace. Often it is for no reason we will ever know. In your case,
Excuse
let us
me.
hope it is for peace.
Well, no, it's more or less for vengeance or
Or
answer.
vengeance.
Hey, look, we agree. Then tell me more about you two, then.
There is little to be said about us,
Hmm.
for we are bound here, caretakers and defenders of this place. Our journey has been over time, but not distance, measured in observations, but not experiences. We have seen the elms grow tall. We have seen
Jesus,
cities
is
built,
that
burned,
sweet.
and built again. The only constant has been the tower, a silent companion through the ages. You can imagine why this recent destruction has stirred my sister so.
If you do nothing else, make that man pay for what he did here.
Yeah, kinda hard to do that, believe you me. If Zeus would be easy to stop, he wouldn't have bloody shields that go on fucking centuries, would he? So, about that whole prank
We will
thing.
tell you what we can.
So the only way to go through this pit is to pray for help.
Not the only way. Just the only one that doesn't end with your body impaled on jagged rocks.
Let's come back to my more practical side. This is just a giant fucking pit. You are basically trees. Can't you give me some root? Long, strong root, or grow it? Heck, just go to the fucking pit and let down an assload of that. And I have something to climb down on.
Before you go, tell me this, old one. I'm curious. If you were to subdue your enemy, what would you do with him? What would give you peace?
Actually, I mean, given the options here, I really don't know until I get there. I need to understand our history, so it may be put to rest. Yeah, but that's not all. I want more. He must be destroyed. I don't know. Maybe his whole scheming actually is saving the world in one or another way. And maybe the gods are truly the evil ones. Maybe he is right. I would return him to the wheel of life and death, so it may trouble me no more. Depends, actually, if that is going to stop him or just, you know, make him get reborn and even more pissed off at me. I wish to undo the harm he's caused. No, actually, I'm not responsible for the harm he has done, so why the fuck should I deal with that? Would set him on a better path. I don't believe you could. Realistically speaking, no, you will absolutely not be able to. This guy has the fucking heart, mind, and concentration to follow his plans and his beliefs for centuries. I don't think our little, minxy little hero here is able to, let me put it like this, even if she had, potentially speaking, the world's greatest vagina, I don't think he's even going to care. Not even that is going to stop him. Yeah. And I would take his place. I mean, I would take his power, if I could, yeah. His place, not so much. That seems like a horribly afflicting place, honestly, and I don't want to go there. So, I won't know.
A great many questions still to be answered.
Indeed.
All the same, think on this matter. Be assured in your course. In the end, it may mean all the difference, not just to his soul, but to yours. And be warned. Some questions have answers that can never be learned. And it is those that trouble the soul above all others.
Ah, yes, because curiosity killed the cat. Or rather, because even if the answer would kill us, we would like to ask the question and get it. Humans are such interesting creatures, aren't they?
May you find an answer to yours.
I'm pretty sure I will.